I never believed in the stories my Tlingit grandmother told me when I was a kid. She'd sit by the wood stove in her little house outside Juneau, smoke curling from her cigarette, and warn me about the Kushtaka. Otter-men, she called them, shapeshifters that live between land and sea. They can look like someone you love, sound exactly like them, even cry like them, but they're not human. They steal souls. They drag people into the water and turn them into one of them. I'd laugh now, remembering how I rolled my eyes at 13. City kid from Anchorage, thought I knew everything. Fast forward to November 23. I'm 32, broke, and running from a divorce I don't want to talk about. My buddy Cole calls me up. Dude, come commercial fishing with me and my cousin in Pelican. 1 season, good money, clear your head. Pelican is this tiny boardwalk town on Chichagof Island, middle of nowhere. Only way in is float plane or boat. I say yes before I can think twice. We get dropped off at this old cannery cabin the company rents out. Place smells like mold and salmon guts baked into the wood for 100 years. Windows fog up the second you breathe. Outside, it's nothing but thick spruce, mist, and the constant slap of waves against the pilings. At night, the fog rolls in so heavy you can't see 10 feet. That's when I first heard it. Third night there, maybe 2 in the morning. I wake up to someone calling my name. Soft, familiar voice. Jack. Jack. Sounds exactly like my ex-wife, Sarah. Same little crack in her voice when she's scared. My heart stops. I sit up in my bunk, sweating, even though it's freezing. Cole's snoring like a chainsaw across the room. I grab my headlamp, crack the door. Fog everywhere. Can't see the water, can't see the trees. Just gray nothing. And the voice again, closer now. Jake, help me, I'm cold. Coming from the direction of the dock. I step outside in my socks, heart hammering. I know Sarah is in Portland. I know this can't be real, but it sounds so much like her, I almost start crying. I take maybe 5 steps down the boardwalk, and then I hear it, giggling. High-pitched, childlike, but wrong, like an otter bark mixed with a kid laughing. Then silence. Dead silence, not even waves. I run back inside, slam the door, and don't sleep again that night. Next morning I tell Cole. He gets quiet, real quiet. Says his uncle warned him never to answer a voice in the fog out here. Kushtaka, he whispers. They mimic people you miss. Trick you into following them to the water. Once you're far enough from the cabin, they show their real face. Half man, half otter, claws, black eyes. They tear your soul out and leave the body for the ravens. I laugh it off. Tell him he's been drinking too much salmon-flavored paranoia. But that night it happens again. This time the voice is my mom. My mom who died of cancer when I was 19. Jakey, I'm so cold. Come hold my hand. Same soft Tennessee accent she had. I'm shaking in my sleeping bag. Cole hears it too, this time. He sits up, face white in the moonlight. Don't answer, he hisses. Whatever you do, don't say anything back. We sit there till sunrise, rifles across our laps like that'll help. The next few days are hell. We're pulling king salmon, working 16-hour shifts, trying to pretend everything's normal. But every night the voices come. Sometimes Sarah crying, sometimes my mom singing the lullaby she used to sing. Once, worst of all, my little brother who drowned when we were kids. Come swim with me, Jake. Water's warm. That one almost breaks me. I almost open the door. On the 7th night, the fog is thicker than I've ever seen. You can't even see your own boots. We're both exhausted, half crazy from no sleep. Around 3 a.m., the voice changes. This time, it's Cole's voice. But Cole is right next to me, wide awake. The voice outside screams, Cole, help! I fell through the dock. I'm in the water. Perfect imitation. Same Alaska accent, same little lisp he's had since we were kids. Cole jumps up, eyes huge. That's me, he whispers. That's my voice. He starts toward the door like he's sleepwalking. I grab him, slam him against the wall. It's not you, man. It's not you. Stay with me. He's fighting me, tears running down his face. But what if it is? What if I'm really out there drowning? We wrestle for what feels like hours. Finally, he collapses, sobbing. That's when we hear the scratching. Long claws dragging scratches all around the cabin, under the floorboards, on the roof, like something huge with claws is circling us. Then the giggling again, Dozens of voices, high and wet, like otters but speaking perfect English, calling our names, begging, laughing. We don't sleep. We just sit back to back with our rifles until the fog starts to lift around 7 a.m. When we finally open the door, there's nothing. Except, on the boardwalk leading to the dock, there are wet footprints. Human at first, then slowly changing. The toes get longer. Webbing appears between them. By the end of the dock, they're just otter prints heading straight into the water. And in the mud by the pilings, scratched deep with claws, are the words, "We only wanted to play, we quit that same day. Told the boss we were sick. Caught the first float plane out and never went back. Cole won't talk about it anymore. Says if he does, they'll hear him and come find him again." Sometimes, late at night in my apartment in Anchorage, I still hear it. Soft voice at the window. "Jack, it's so cold out here." I keep every light on. I own. I never open the curtains, and I never ever answer. Because I know what they are now. They're still waiting in the fog. If you liked this story and you don't want to miss the next one, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. This is Mr. Nightfear, and I'll see you in the dark. Second story. I swear this one still wakes me up screaming. Summer of 21, I'm 28, fresh out of the army, and I need to disappear for a while. My head's messed up from 2 tours in Afghanistan, so I do what every broken vet does. I buy a beat-up kayak and tell everyone I'm going to paddle the inside passage alone. Juneau to Prince Rupert. 350 miles of glacier water, bears, and no people. Perfect. I put in at Taku Inlet, just south of Juneau. First 4 days are pure heaven. Eagles, humpbacks breaching so close the spray hits my face, glaciers cracking like gunshots. Then on day 5, the weather turns. Not normal Alaska rain. This is a wall of gray that eats the world. Fog so thick I can't see my own paddle blade when it's in the water. I pull onto the nearest beach to wait it out. Tiny little crescent of pebbles, backed by old-growth spruce so dark it looks black. No trail, no trash, no sign anyone's ever been here. I pitch my tent 20 feet from the waterline, cook some freeze-dried chili, and crawl into my bag early. That's when I hear the baby crying, soft at first, like it's coming from a long way off. A newborn, the kind of weak hiccuping cry that rips your heart out. I sit up, listen, nothing but fog and the hush of waves. Then it comes again, closer, right at the edge of the trees. I grab my headlamp, step outside barefoot. "Hello?" My voice sounds small, swallowed instantly. The crying stops. Dead silence. Even the little waves go quiet. I'm standing there like an idiot when I hear it laugh. Not a baby, a woman, singing. The same lullaby my mom used to sing to me when I had nightmares after my dad left. "Hush, little baby, don't say a word." Exact pitch, exact little crack on the high notes. I haven't heard that song in 20 years. My skin crawls so hard I almost puke. I shine the light toward the trees. Nothing, just fog curling between the trunks like smoke. But the singing keeps going, coming closer, circling the tent. Then the voice changes. It's my squad leader, Ramirez, the one who didn't make it out of that village in Helmand. "Hey, Stafford, you left me, man. You promised you'd carry me out." Exact Brooklyn accent, exact way he said my last name. I dive back in the tent, zip it shut, heart trying to punch through my ribs. I sit there clutching my bear spray like it's going to do anything. The singing stops, then the crying starts again, but now it's right outside the tent wall. I can hear breathing. Wet, snuffling breathing, like something with a cold. And the smell hits me, rotting fish and wet dog. Something touches the tent. One finger, dragging slowly down the nylon. Zee! Oh! Right over my head. I scream. I actually scream like a little kid. Whatever it is giggles, high and bubbling, and then the dragging starts all around me. 4, 5, 6 sets of claws circling the tent, ripping little tears in the fabric. I see silhouettes through the rainfly. Tall, thin, heads too big, arms too long. One of them presses its face against the mesh door. I see eyes first, huge, shining black, no whites at all, then the mouth. It opens way too wide, full of needle teeth, and it smiles at me. I don't remember grabbing the flare gun. I just remember firing it straight through the door. The flare punches through whatever that thing was and explodes in the trees behind it. Everything screams, this horrible otter bark mixed with human wailing, and then the sound of heavy bodies crashing away through the brush. I sat there till morning, with the flare gun in one hand and my kabar in the other, shaking so hard my teeth chattered. When the fog finally burned off around 9, I crawled out expecting blood, bodies, anything. Nothing. Except the beach was covered in tracks, hundreds of them. Human bare feet coming out of the water, walking right up to my tent, then changing halfway. The toes stretch, spread, claws dig deep. By the tree line, they're pure otter prints, sliding back into the sea. And right where that thing pressed its face, there's a perfect handprint on the tent door, except the fingers are too long and there's thick webbing between them, still dripping. I paddled 16 hours straight that day, no stops, no food, crying like a baby the whole time. When I finally hit a fishing boat near Petersburg, they said I looked like a ghost. Haven't been back in a kayak since. Haven't slept without the lights on since. Sometimes, when the fog rolls into Anchorage thick and quiet, I still hear it. That lullaby. My mom's voice, Ramirez calling my name. And underneath it all, the soft crying of a baby that was never born. They know my name now. They always know. If this one got under your skin the way it still gets under mine, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. You don't want to miss what's coming next. This is Mr.Nightfear, and they're still out there, listening. Third story. This one happened last winter. I never told anyone the full story until now, because if I say it out loud, I'm terrified they'll come finish what they started. December 24. My girlfriend Mia and I decide to do something stupid for our anniversary. Rent a remote Forest Service cabin on Admiralty Island. The place is called Pack Creek, famous for brown bears, but in winter it's empty. No rangers, no tourists, just us, a wall tent with a wood stove, and 30 miles of wilderness in every direction. The float plane drops us off on a frozen beach at low tide. Pilot says, "Pick up in 7 days, weather permitting, radio if you get in trouble." Then he's gone, and it's just the wind and the ice cracking in the bay. First 2 days are magic, northern lights every night, wolves howling across the water, hot coffee while the stove roars. We feel like the last 2 people on Earth. Night 3, the temperature drops to -20. We're snuggled in our double sleeping bag, half asleep, when we hear whistling outside. Not wind. A person whistling an old hymn my grandpa used to hum, "Nearer, my God, to thee," clear, perfect pitch, coming from the tree line maybe 50 feet away. Mia freezes. I whisper, "Bear?" She shakes her head. Bears don't whistle hymns. We lie there dead still. The whistling circles the cabin slow, like someone taking a stroll. Then it stops right outside the door. Silence for maybe 30 seconds. And then a soft knock. 3 taps. Tap, tap, tap. Mia grabs my arm so hard her nails draw blood. I mouth, "Ignore it." Another 3 knocks, gentler this time. Then a voice. My grandpa's voice. Exact Oklahoma drawl, the little rasp from years of chewing tobacco. "Let me in, son. It's colder than a well-digger's ass out here. My grandpa has been dead 12 years. I feel every hair on my body stand up. Mia starts crying silently, tears freezing on her cheeks. The doorknob rattles, just once, like someone testing it. Then footsteps walking away, crunching on the frozen snow. Except the footsteps don't fade. They get louder again, coming back, faster this time. And the whistling starts again, but now it's inside the hymn. There's something else layered under it, a wet chittering, like otters fighting. We don't sleep. We just sit up hugging each other, staring at the door until the gray morning light finally leaks through the ice on the windows. When we open the door at 9 a.m., the snow around the cabin is torn to hell. Tracks everywhere, huge otter prints, but way too big, each one the size of a dinner plate, with claw marks deep enough to hit dirt. They come out of the forest, circle the cabin 7 times exactly, then walk straight to the door, and stop. Right at the threshold, there's a perfect human handprint melted into the snow. 5 fingers, but webbed, and the palm is facing inward, like something was leaning against the door, listening to us breathe all night. We radio for emergency pickup. The pilot laughs at first, thinks we're joking about otter demons, but when he lands 2 days early, he sees the tracks and goes quiet. We burn every photo we took of that handprint, but I still see it when I close my eyes. Here's the part that keeps me awake. 3 weeks after we got home, Mia woke me up screaming at 3:17 a.m. She said she heard whistling outside our apartment window, 5 stories up, in downtown Juneau. Same hymn, same wet chitter underneath. I ran to the window, nothing but streetlights and snow, but on the glass, fogged from our breath, someone had drawn a single otter paw with one long claw, and under it, in letters that were already melting. We followed you home. We moved to Arizona the next month, dry desert, no otters for 1,000 miles. But sometimes, when the monsoon rain hits the windows just right, I swear I still hear it, that soft, patient whistling. Waiting. If your blood's running cold right now, do me a favor, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because I'm running out of places to hide, and they're getting closer every night. This is Mr. Nightfear. Sleep tight if you can.